From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Butte's chief executive witnessed a disturbance that caused a flight to be diverted. I'll tell you what he saw.
And it's election year, so what are voters most concerned with? Well, many say it's the economy, but the Biden administration believes it should be democracy. Well, we're going to explore that idea in about 5 minutes.
A local Bozeman family is turning grief into hope. I'm Heaven Van, and I spoke with the family of Landon Hull, an MSU student who died by suicide in 2022. The family is setting up a scholarship in his memory to fill the gap in Montana mental health services.
Alrighty, it is 6:31 on this Friday edition of Montana This Morning. Jay McDonald and Matt Elwell with you. First Friday of the year 2024. It's in the books. We got it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm so ecstatic that it's Friday and the weekend's upon us.
We are here.
Yeah.
We are here. I got to go get another cup of coffee to make sure I make it through the Friday.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to take a nap, so I'm done at this point. I got to finish that coffee and then I am done.
Yep, tapping out.
Temperatures this morning into the 20s. We've had some light snow. There may be some icy conditions in parts of the area this morning. Most of our snow, for the most part, is done. You still may have a few light flakes through the late morning, maybe even early afternoon in some cases, but overall we're looking at clearing skies. Still a few flurries in parts of the area today. I think our best chance still in the morning, and then by the afternoon our skies begin to clear and temperatures by the evening dropping off very quickly. We do have more cold air and snow on the way. We're going to talk minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Now our top story this half hour, a disturbance caused a Bozeman-bound flight to be diverted on Wednesday. MTN's John Amy spoke to Butte's chief executive who happened to be on that flight and witnessed some of that chaos.
Butte Chief Executive J.P. Gallagher and his family were having a smooth return flight back to Montana after a relaxing trip in Cozumel. That is, until the last leg of the flight.
Sir! Stop! What the hell do you think you're doing?
This is great. We actually have hit every one of our flights, connecting flights. We're going to get in town the way we thought we were. I'll be able to make council meeting tomorrow night, and then all hell broke loose.
Stop! 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 Stop!
Gallagher's wife, Erna, took phone video of a passenger on the American Airlines flight attacking the attendant as the flight was heading from Dallas to Bozeman Wednesday afternoon. The attendant and some passengers were able to quickly restrain the man, and the flight was diverted to Amarillo.
I could hear, the scrambling and a few cuss words coming out of people's mouths, but words I won't say on TV, but it was a crazy scenario.
The FAA identified the passenger suspected in the incident as Keith Fagiana. Gallagher said he didn't notice anything leading up to the disturbance.
People kind of speculated that he was drunk or on something and was having, like a mental breakdown or something that happened at that time.
Gallagher said the situation was very unnerving while it was taking place.
It's the unknown. Was there something that was found or somebody making threats with a weapon? Then that was it was a little unnerving, but for the most part, it seemed like everything got under control really quick.
The incident delayed the return to Montana by about 7 hours, but Gallagher was just glad no one was seriously hurt.
I talked to the flight attendant. He seemed to be fine, and I think a little shaken, like anyone would be, But, I think they must train the flight attendants well. They were ready.
The chief executive added this incident won't discourage him from taking more flights. In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
And a Wrongway driver on I-90 is accused of causing the death of a 22-year-old woman near Three Forks early Thursday morning. The Gallatin County Dispatch Center says it received calls of a Wrongway driver traveling west in the eastbound lanes at about 1:26 in the morning. Callers said they saw the driver at mile marker 294. Now that's between Belgrade and Manhattan. And the 23-year-old male driver of the vehicle is accused of causing a head-on collision at mile marker 278, killing a 22-year-old Lisa Grewell of Townsend. She leaves behind a young daughter and her boyfriend. The driver of the suspected vehicle was extracted and transported to Bozeman Health Medical Center. The family started a GoFundMe site to help raise some money for funeral expenses and for the care of Grewell's daughter. You can find that link over on our website. And a bomb threat was sent to Gallatin County courts Thursday morning. The Gallatin County Sheriff's Office says that before the courts opened for the day, a bomb threat was sent via email to the district court clerk's office. The threat claimed that bombs were put in district, justice, and Bozeman municipal courtrooms. The sheriff's office says law enforcement performed sweeps of all courtrooms and found nothing suspicious. Those sweeps were finished in time for the courts to open for regular business hours. And the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest says a wildlife biologist with the forest and game wardens helped rescue a great gray owl that had become stuck in a pit toilet. According to a post on Facebook, the owl likely followed an air ventilation pipe into the toilet and became stuck. Grates are normally installed over the pipes to prevent wildlife from entering the toilets, but weather, wear, or time may have caused the grates to be damaged or just simply lost. The biologist kept an eye on the bird until wardens could arrive later with a ladder. Then they climbed down and wrapped a towel around the bird and passed it up to the wardens. The owl was taken to the Wild Skies Raptor Center in Missoula to be checked out, and according to the post on the owl is doing well, but a bit grumpy, but otherwise is just fine. And he will be returned to the wild once it is all cleaned up and maybe put a little bit more weight on. And it is officially election year, and we've heard that the economy is reigning supreme amongst voters. But what other issues matter to voters? Well, the Biden administration seems to think that democracy is a top issue. Joe St. George takes a closer look.
The campaign to live here at the White House is intensifying this month, and while Republicans are going to receive most of the attention because of the Iowa caucuses and New Hampshire primary, Democrats and President Biden have a campaign too. And while the White House is, yes, focused on issues like the economy, it's increasingly clear that President Biden is positioning his campaign in 24 to be focused on preserving democracy.
What will we do to maintain our democracy?
Throughout his presidency, President Joe Biden has made a point to speak about democracy a lot.
Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal.
From speeches in Arizona to Pennsylvania, the White House has made the issue a priority for years. And with Election Day around 11 months away, democracy is expected to be talked about even more on the campaign trail. On Saturday, President Biden will deliver a campaign speech from Valley Forge in Pennsylvania, the site where George Washington nearly lost to the British. Scripps News spoke with Biden campaign spokesman Kevin Munoz about why the president has identified this issue as a top one in the campaign.
We view it our moral duty to really show the American people, especially at this pivotal moment with January 6th coming up, that our democracy is on the line here and we have to vote like our lives depend on it.
Of course, many Americans disagree that 2024 is about the future of democracy. Bob Vanderplatz is a conservative faith leader in Iowa. He has been a critic of former President Trump and has recently decided to endorse Ron DeSantis for president. But even he disagrees that democracy is really on the line.
Do you worry at all about the future of democracy with former President Trump as the Republican nominee?
Our country's stronger than that. I think America's been put through a lot of tests.
According to the polls, threats to democracy does appear to be an issue on voters' minds as the year begins, but not necessarily the top issue. A recent poll by Emerson College found that 39% of Americans believe the economy is the most important issue facing the country. Only 12% believe threats to democracy is number one. Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.
Now back a little bit closer to home, the family of an MSU student who died by suicide in 2022 is setting up a scholarship for future mental health professionals. MTN's Heaven Van spoke with the family of that student, Landon Hull, and they say they hope to bring more providers to Montana to help bridge the current gap in mental health services.
Landon Hull was a student here at MSU, studying psychology in the hopes of becoming a counselor. But after his tragic passing in 2022, the Hull family decided to be a solution to Montana's mental health crisis by setting up a scholarship in his memory.
Landon was full of energy from the time he could walk. He walked early, he talked early, he rode his bike early. He brought life to the party, he brought excitement to the room. He was really empathetic towards other people that were struggling.
Landon's challenges and the lack of youth services to combat them eventually led him to an outdoor recovery program out of state, where he discovered his passion for helping others.
I think he saw a potential future self in these young guys that had also made the decision to dedicate their professional lives to helping kids.
Despite this period of recovery, Landon still struggled, and upon returning to Montana, could not find the services he needed.
The system, with all its benefits, also has a lot of flaws, and just unwilling and unable to diagnose what was really going on with him. We know there's kids falling through the cracks all over the place, and so that's what's frustrating and heartbreaking for us. The situation is playing itself out again and again, and there hasn't been anything systematic that's changed yet.
Montana currently has the highest rate of suicide in the country, at 28.8 deaths per 100,000 residents. Despite this, some say mental health services have...
A lot of these kids told us that they felt so at home with him and so comforted by him because not only was he willing to share his own struggles, but then also seek them out and encourage them to find the care that they needed to get better.
The Hull family hopes that the scholarship will encourage more providers to come to Montana and make mental health care more accessible to struggling residents.
We could have allowed his goal and his dream to die with him, or we could find a way to continue the work that he envisioned himself doing.
For more information on the Landon Hull Memorial Scholarship and how to apply, visit mtcf.org. In Bozeman, Heaven Van, MTN News.
Thank you very much for that story, Heaven. Now, we're going to take a short break here on Montana This Morning, but when we come back, you've likely heard of the buy now, pay it later deals. Well, we're going to explore that idea to make sure you have everything that you need to know before you sign up.
I'm John Mattery's buy now, pay later programs are more popular than ever, but for some shoppers, they're turning into a big post-holiday hangover. What you need to know.